It's almost like a trip to Bavaria without going to Bavaria.
Well, it's been really great because it's like a cultural experience in itself without even going away.
It gives you a different perspective on just what's happening in the world.
It's a bit addictive, I suppose.
Scott and Tracy Patterson live in Christchurch with their 3 children. They are currently hosting Chris, an exchange student from Germany. In 3 months, their eldest son Matt is leaving to do an exchange in Europe.
We decided to host a student because our son is going to Germany. We thought it would be beneficial for him going away to see some of the problems that he might encounter, and we thought it would be quite fun and interesting.
Tania and Brent King are currently hosting Betty, a student from Hungary. Betty is the 3rd AFS student the family have hosted. There are many different reasons why families host AFS students.
We've never had the chance to travel overseas, so it was a way of bringing overseas to us in a way, because we've been able to sit down and learn a lot about parts of the world that we wouldn't have even dreamt of going to.
So my first advice to anyone having a student would be to be assertive, because one of the issues where conflict arises is because they come from a different culture who do things differently, and you can get an issue if they do things the way you don't like them being done, so you've actually got to talk about those things. And AFS do cover that really well, because they give you a sort of parental pack or whatever before the child arrives, and you can and it gives you all the things to talk about with them, and that is a real benefit.
We decided right from the beginning that communication was the key, and we said to him, if you're not happy with something, tell us, and if we're not happy with something, we'll tell you and we'll work it out.
I think the key thing is when they come into your family is that you don't change how you do things. So you just keep, if you ate at erratic times of the day, you keep eating at erratic times of the day, and if you don't cook differently because you have somebody in your home, you don't change any of those things, because if you did, that's what creates pressure.
Students come to New Zealand for exchanges ranging from 2 to 12 months. Betty is on a 12-month exchange.
I actually think they're the best ones to pick, because they get that full experience of the years.
Initially, our middle son, Hamish, he said that he didn't think that he would like a stranger coming to live with us for a year. Yeah, but then he came around once we read Chris's profile, and he learned a bit more about Chris, and those two get on really well, Chris and Hamish do, so it's never been a problem.
Families do not receive any payment for hosting an AFS student.
It is a bigger time commitment. I mean, you ask a parent who has gone from 2 children to 3 children, you can't expect it to not make some sort of change. But I found it quite good, because when we went backwards down to 1, when Danny went away, it sort of was almost like a hole, wasn't it? It was a bit empty, And, I mean, Courtney made a comment one day, and she said, Mum and Dad, no offence, but you're a bit boring.
Students come to New Zealand from over 30 countries around the world.
It definitely gives you a more global view on the world too. For example, when Thibaut was with us, was when they were having the riots in Paris. So you actually saw that event from a French perspective as well as from somewhere down the South Pacific.
You can do things for your children, but there's some things you can't quite do just by yourself. And to me, it's allowed us to give the kids an opportunity for their development, really.
It's been really interesting, because you learn about all the little things to do with their lifestyle, and in a way and with detail that you couldn't possibly get if you were, say, travelling overseas and travelling on a tour.
So I think a lot of people wouldn't sort of consider it if they weren't going away with it themselves, which is a shame, because even if you aren't going away, it's almost the same great experience in terms of just having someone from somewhere else, the opposite side of the world, living in your house and just bringing their own unique cultural identity to New Zealand.
It's really positive. It's really good for our family. It's interesting. It motivates the whole family. Life's just a lot more enjoyable.
You gain a lot more than you give, and the more you sort of put into making it work, the better it works. It lets you grow as a family, and just gives you a new view on the world.
For more information on hosting, please contact the local AFS chapter. Call 0800 600 300 or visit www.afs.org.nz.